them and seeing if do we need to add more, do we need to take away. When we are final with that, we'll certainly talk about it. Question from Robo's, will there be any visual correlation between Mage Armor and its weaknesses? That would be great. Certainly that's part of where the ear system comes in. Oakblade, will RNG go both ways? Absolutely. As Woody Allen says, it increases your chances of getting, doubles your chances of getting a date on Saturday night. Question about the mages playing with heavy armor or wearing heavy armor. Some of the disadvantages. Well, certainly it can affect your chance to cast. It can affect how spells react when they strike your armor. It could slow you down running-wise. It could restrict your movements in other ways. So, yes, armor is a choice. Calmos, could the strengths and weaknesses of armor be hidden by spells? Yep, certainly could be. All right, so it is now Keshrak, casting lightning plus wearing heavy armor. If heavy is defined by iron, equals bad, bad. Yes, it equals bad, bad. Okay, 15 minutes, about 15 minutes to go. So I'll open this up to other questions. Obviously, given the time, I am not going to try to even answer every one. But if you've got some good and interesting questions that don't have to do with armor, and I can answer them because we've already made a decision on it or we've talked about some of the things, I will try to answer it. Will equipping things be displayed on characters like armor, rings, necklaces, etc.? I would love that. Is no armor potentially a viable choice? I guess it depends. If you are, sitting in the back casting spells, yeah, it's probably a viable choice. It may not be the best choice, but certainly if you're up close and you're getting hit by spells, I think you would want to wear armor. From Carl Spackler, will there be a spell that will inhibit attacking Zerg speed? That's certainly something that we have to look at really carefully. We've said right from the beginning that dealing with the Zerg is an important part of this game. We do not want this game to devolve into, just the mindless Zergs going around the map from place to place to place, never interacting with each other, because that's not great gameplay. So whether it is something to affect their speed or other things as well, yes, all that is under consideration. From Runoff, if most armor comes from crafters, will fighters be able to afford gold-wise to upgrade? Absolutely. That's the whole point of the way the realm rewards from your king work. We know that if the combatants are going out and doing the things they need to do, they need to make money, because if they don't make money, if they don't get materials, they can't make the crafters happy. So yes, absolutely. Yes, the Chrono Mage. So it was just a thought that having a mage that can affect time, and then it became more of a thought. Having a mage that could affect the passage of time, that could affect probability, that could affect other things related to the concept of time, could be really interesting in this kind of a game. Is it something that is confirmed? Oh, absolutely not. I spent a little bit of the afternoon the other day just doing some research on physics and trying to see how we could take what we know about science and about time all that sort of good and fun stuff, and make a mage class out of it. And that's all it is. I think it could be really interesting, and I think it is something that I'm probably going to spend a little bit of time on, over the weekends, thinking about some more. But it could be a fun class. Will Mage Armor incur durability damage from casting yourself? It might, but the only way we would do that is if we did either the same to combatants, or if we needed to put that in as a way to keep the deterioration of Mage Armor relatively equivalent to what the fighters got. Tizoi, yep. You actually hit on a few of the things that I thought of as well. No, no, Noel Baran, it won't be a Time Lord. But it could be quite interesting. If armor affects movement speed, how can you roam with your team and run at the same speed? Well, that's part of it. But it's not just armor affecting movement speed, it's what you carry. But that's why there's a speed class too. And yes, gravity is also one of the things that I was thinking about. Question from Kosolev: when will we get to play PAT again? I sent that out in a message today. Hopefully this week. We want to have an internal test either today or tomorrow with the new networking code put in, and the next PAT will be an absolute break the build PAT. Question: will there be a way to play Storm Riders without any armor and not to be at a disadvantage? No, there'll be a disadvantage. There has to be. Might there be some advantages for the Storm Riders or others in wearing very little armor and no armor? Yes, but there'll still be disadvantages as well. For crafters on the battlefield, will they have weapons that will help them build things faster from Red Galaxy? Not weapons necessarily, but tools, absolutely. From front squats, will Mage Armor change to reflect the majority of spells types casted? I'd love that. Certainly the year system is supposed to do it. Sacrix, can I give any more info regarding healing each body part? Just that the idea is that if we have body parts that makes, a body part system which is reactive to damage, so that you could actually lose the use of part of your arm, you might have to be healed. It might be more effective to be healed that way too. But the body part system is still something in body part targeting. It's something we have to get right. It has to work better than the current systems, or we won't put it in the game, because that would be, foolish of us. Calmos, will Mage Armor affect casting times due to lack of flexibility? Well, that could be part of it, depending on the spell. That if you're wearing heavy iron armor, where you don't have quite the same flexibility as you might in lighter armor, it could affect it. From Red Galaxy, a crafter's going to use weapons at all. As I said from the Kickstarter Beyond guys, the crafter's best, the best thing the crafters can do while they're being attacked is to run away. They are not meant to be fighters in the, hey, I'm going to stand right here, pull out my sword, and do battle with with combatants. Odovic, we'll be inviting more folks into IT. Yes, that is the plan. Will healers have their own methods of casting spells? Right now, we want all mages to use the same system, simply because that is easier, faster, and at the end of the day, once you've seen mages casting their spells 50 times, 100 times, sometimes 10 times, you're just focused on the spell and not necessarily the animation that made it happen. So, our focus in the beginning is to work on making the spells great and having a cool animation system for mages without worrying about trying to put the different mage classes into very different animation states. That could change, but we'll see. Question, will there be craftable items that influence an area? Absolutely. Nocturnal Demise, wish granted. The question was, I'd like to see a mage put up a wall after the keep doors break down and have the aggressors have to launch magic at it. Would be epic. Well, yeah, that's part of it. From Valdi, planning on a two-factor account security for launch. Um, I can answer. I could try to answer that, but you'd have to explain exactly what you mean by that. I think you know. I mean, I think I know, but detail that question to me in chat now, and I will tell you if I actually know the answer. Will healing spells have the same restrictions from armor as mage spells? Yes. Can we expect from Sacrix? Can we expect many forms of healing in this game? As long as it's done by the healing class, the answer is yes. Okay. In terms of two-factor security, yeah, I mean, look, I like it. I've seen it in other games. I certainly want whatever system is going to work best. Haven't decided on that yet. But yes, I think that is sometimes an annoying system, but one that works well. A question about, will there be a replica of the armor after killing a player to hang in your house, trophies and all that? I would love to have something like that in this game. Question regarding mounts. Will we have any mounts or other kinds of transportation system? What I have confirmed is that we will have pack animals. We have to have pack animals. Mounts is something I am absolutely considering. And I do think that mounts, um, as long as they are not in any way better, well, I shouldn't say anyway, as long as they're not faster than the speed buffs, then I think mounts do belong in this game. I always wanted them in Dark Age. Wrote a paper on that. Didn't happen. Not the way I wanted it to. And then eventually, obviously, but not in the beginning. Let's see, what else? Oh, and sorry, yeah, got distracted. One of the things that certainly the mounts will be able to do that players wouldn't in the same way, they still could take inventory. There'll still be packs for them, even the non, pack mule type. From Val, do you think of any